One of the very common tasks in any Java program is to simply add 1 or -1 to a variable. For example, number equals to number plus 1, number equals to number minus 1. And the reason is in a computer system, a lot of operation is done step by step, and counting each step by adding 1 is a common operator. In fact, many computer systems, many CPU has this specific operation in addition to the normal addition. Java provides shortened ways to increment and decrement a various variables value. Using the plus plus or minus minus unary operators, this tag can be completed quickly. It will be number plus plus or plus plus number. This is for incremental by 1, and the number minus minus or minus minus number, this will decrease by 1. So in this example, increment, decrement, we give the integer initial value of 4, then print out the number. Then I said, I will increment number. Use a plus plus. Once you plus plus, you put the now number is. And we do expect this to increase to 5. And then we will decrement this from 5 minus 1 to 4. This is 4, 5, 4, right? The difference between prefix and postfix, as you can see, you can have a plus plus, number plus plus, or plus plus number. The difference is when an increment or decrement are the only operations in a statement. There is no difference between prefix and postfix. When used in an expression, prefix indicates the variable will be incremented prior to the rest of the equation. And post notation indicates the variable will be increment or decrement after the rest has been evaluated. So for example here, if you do plus plus, if this is the only operation you have here, then it doesn't matter whether you put this ahead or after. But what if I put plus plus here? Right now it's a suffix, right? Which means this will evaluate after the whole expression is evaluated. So exactly you can see here is a 4, right? Why this is 4? Because you evaluate the rest of the expression first. Then you do the number. Then you do the increment. Before increment, the value is still 4. However, we can see the number did increase because later on, after you decrease, it's still 4, which means somehow, somewhere, this number was changed to 5. And this somewhere is after the code is evaluated. If I remove this, if I also comment out this one, it will be more apparent. Without decrement, you can see the number is 5. Now, what if I put plus plus ahead? You can see this becomes 5 because you will do the increment first. Then you do this whole expression. Okay, this increment is very useful when you keep on doing the same thing again and again, just keeping a step of checking. Every time you finish the one thing, then you increase a step and move to the next iteration of the same execution. In fact, if you think about computer's power, why computer is powerful? Because it can keep on doing the same thing again and again without getting bored. without making mistakes. This is what human beings cannot do. And computer does this repetitive work by using what we call loop. Loop is action that a block of code keep on repeating itself until a certain condition is met or until a certain condition is not met. Java provides 3 different looping structures. The first, I shouldn't say number one, but the first loop that we are going to introduce is called while. It's also the simplest. While condition is true, keep on doing the statements inside. While the condition is true, the statement will be executed repeatedly. The while loop is a pre-test loop, which means that it will test the value of a condition prior to executing the loop. So care must be taken to set condition to false somewhere in the loop, so the loop will end. Apparently, you can see if the condition is true, then you will keep on doing this again and again without the way to exit. So somewhere you must change the condition in the loop will end. Loop does not end are called infinite loops. A while loop executes 0 or more times. If the condition is never met in the first place, the loop will not execute. So the condition test will be executed, but if the condition is false, then the inside statement will not be executed. Let's see the while loop. So this is a very simple while loop. We have a number equals to 1, and while number is less than 5, we will keep on printing. And then we will increment the number so that eventually the number will become 5. What if I comment this out? The number will not change inside of the body. It will keep on running, but number will always be 1. This condition will always be true, and I will keep on printing hello until the end of world, or until I terminate it forcibly. So, but with this number plus plus, after the first loop, number becomes 2, right? So number start with 1. In the first run, it enters number is 1 less than or equals to 5. So we will print out 1 hello, and we will increment the number to 2. Then we will repeat this process, checking the condition. This time is 2 less than equal to 5. So print out hello again, and add number to 3, and so on and so forth. Number becomes 4, 5. 5 is still less than equal to 5, right? So we will still print out another hello. And eventually, we get another increment. Number becomes 6. Number is no longer less or equal to 5. So we exit. And I think it would be better if I even add a number, and so that you can see that one number starts with 1, less than 5, number starts with 2. So it will be hello 2, and then hello 3, hello 4, hello 5. After hello 5, number increment to 6, then it will exit. Right, that's all. So this is the loop chart, flow chart. You test a Boolean expression, and if it's true, you confirm the statement. Then after that statement, the execution flow goes back to the beginning of this while and test the Boolean expression again. Until it's false, then it will come out. In order for a while loop to end, the condition must become false somewhere. The following loop will not end, just like what we did just now. When we comment out the number plus plus, so the number will not change, then the condition will not change. It will have an infinite loop. The variable x here never gets decremented, so it will always be greater than 0. So adding x minus minus will fix the issue. This version of a loop decrements x during each iteration. So starting with 20, it will become 19, 18, 17, all the way until x equals to 0. Then it will come out. And we use curly brace to enclose statements. Now, it is also possible to remove this curly brace, only take number plus plus. But in this case, you are not going to do anything. You are not going to see anything, because basically you at least need two statements. One is some kind of operation that will cause some change, like printing out this hello 1, hello 2. Another is you need to change the number, right? So here you are not by doing this, you are not going to get anything, but we can change this a little bit if I just remove this. And remember we said number, you can put plus plus here, right? But the problem, the downside of this, so that you will do the comparison, and then because plus plus is after number, you will do the comparison first. Then you will increment the number and execute this statement. There's the downside is this number here is no longer the original number. It's a number that incremented. In order to change that, you can also put a number plus plus here, right? So the condition is still the same, but you are printing out hello and the number, current number. Then after the print is over, you will do this number plus plus. So let's see what's the result. You can see the result is still the same. But we talked about how to make programs more readable. Apparently, with a curly brace, it's much easier to read and to understand, and much easier to maintain. If you only have one statement, what if you need to add one more statement into this while loop? It's similar to, it's similar to what we talked about in if. If you add a statement here, any statement, if add any statement here, this statement does not belong to while. You may provide it with an indentation so that it looks like it's a part of the while, but it is not. Only this statement belongs to while. So in order to avoid this confusion, it's the best way to handle while is to have curly brace and to have statements put all the statements inside the curly brace. Similarly, this plus plus and minus minus, it's recommended that you keep it simple and keep it in one statement. Some people like to write short statements like this just to reduce one line or two. This may be helpful in the old time when C programming requires everything to be condensed. But now that we have enough computer power, the bottleneck of software development is really in human understanding. It's how people understand your code. So always try to keep programs simple and easy to read. Do not mix code together, different codes together into one line or one statement, unless there's a compelling reason you have to do it. You cannot do it. You cannot achieve your goal without using special syntax like this mix incremental with expression or the conditional operator we talked about. Try to keep those simple so that people can understand it.